Welcome back to Shades of Green on KDWN. I'm your host, Paul Ira, and we're here with Tiffany Young and Sean Brown. Sean, before the break, we were talking about efficiency and SEER ratings and EER ratings. Where did the SEER rating come from? Tell us about what SEER means again.
SEER stands for Seasonal Energy Efficiency Rating, and basically stands for, or equates to, miles per gallon on a car. So the higher the efficiency, the less power it's going to use to do the same job. Cars that use 10 miles per gallon, or looking at the Teslas, they're going to get you from point A to point B. It's just that some use more power than others. Same thing with older systems and newer systems. The older systems, 10, 12-year-old systems, they may be working great, they may be keeping the house cool and comfortable, but you don't know how much you're overpaying in utilities. So that's the real difference on systems, on age, on efficiency is, yeah, they're still working, but you're going to end up overpaying on utilities every single month.
So people talk about new systems, old systems. With technology advancement, how old is an old system now?
With technology advancements and how much wear and tear they get out here because of the summers, about 10 to 12 years the system starts to wear out. And I'm not saying it's going to die tomorrow. What I mean by that is the efficiency is starting to drop off. So it's little by little nickeling and diming you every month in repairs, or once a year in repairs or whatever, but also on your utilities, that it's just starting to use more power, and because it's such a minute change over time, you're not noticing it.
So you could have an older system that's actually costing you twice as much to air condition your home as it should be, even though it's running fine and sounds fine and there's no leaks in it or anything. You could be spending twice as much as you need to. So if somebody wanted to get their system fixed and they wanted to call Sierra, how would they get a hold of you?
You can call us at 702-798-1055, or you can go to our website at sierracoolslv.com. And we also have a Facebook page too.
And what's a turnaround time? If somebody gave you a call and said, hey, I'm kind of interested, I'd like to have my air conditioning unit looked at, see if I should be upgrading it. How long would they expect to wait if they called you?
We try to get you in the same day if we can, and if not, we'll get you in the next day, or whenever is convenient for you guys.
So if our listeners wanted to contact Sierra Heating and Air Conditioning today to have their unit looked at, you could be there this week.
Definitely.
Very good, excellent. So this takes us back to these SEER ratings and the EER ratings. Those are ASHRAE ratings, right? American Society of Heating and Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Engineers. So these are the guys who design and develop the standards for equipment and who come up with these different kind of ratings. So the higher SEER rating on your equipment, the better.
Correct.
And a system that's more than 10, 12 years old should be looked at and consider upgrading that. It will actually pay for itself over time by reducing the amount you're spending monthly on your air conditioning. And here in the desert, they really get beat up a lot too. If your air conditioner high side unit, as they say, that's outside, is right in the sun and takes a lot of sun, even that sun will wear that thing down and will work on the wiring and the fan motor and everything else on there, much
Correct.
less the paint job on it.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
So tell us some of the maintenance things that people should be doing, or things they should call you about to have done to their home.
Probably the easiest thing for homeowners to do is maintain and change that filter every couple months. Probably, ideally, I would say every 2 months, having that filter changed. Some filters say 90 days or 3 months, but it really depends, like I said, on the traffic of how many people you have in the home, pets, doors, windows, stuff like that, how well the house is sealed. The other thing, one of the big things that we do anytime we're doing maintenance is we'll actually pull the top of the air conditioner and we wash it out. The reason we pull the top is to wash it from the inside out. We're actually flushing out the system. If you wash it from the outside in while washing it out with a hose, all you're really doing is pushing that dirt, dust, and debris farther into the system, which isn't really helping the system be more efficient. So what we do is we actually pull that top and hose from the inside out to flush out and clean out that system, so that way your system's going to be, well, a lot cleaner and a lot more efficient, and we'll be able to breathe a lot easier as well.
Cool, very good. I understand there's a drawing coming up. You guys have a drawing?
Yeah, so we'll actually be at Greenfest this weekend in downtown Summerlin, and we will be giving away a brand new home comfort system. So
A full system?
a full system.
Wow. So anybody wondering a good reason to come to Greenfest, there it is. A whole new system. If you've got a system that's more than 7 or 8 years old, you should be at Greenfest this weekend and put your name in the hat for this drawing. Anything else you want to tell us about this drawing?
Well, even if you don't win, we will have a prize wheel, so we'll be giving away discounts for repairs and service and promotional items. So no matter what, you'll win something.
Nice, nice. Speaking of Greenfest and that, do you want to talk a little bit about Greenfest when we come back? We're going to have a little update on Greenfest, the Green Gala, the Green Procession, which will have electric vehicles and renewable energy vehicles that'll be in the procession, and I guess everything down to bicycles and people walking, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Greenfest is this weekend at the 22nd from 9 to 5. It's a free event. We have a lot of booths and food and giveaways and prizes. The kids have a great time. We have these earth balls that will be floating around out in front of the stage where our live music is, and the kids have a great time with that. So you want to be sure and come out for that. We've talked a lot about rebates and drawings. We need to talk about this rebate a little bit more. Tell us about the rebates that are available, and what do you have to do to get a rebate from NV Energy?
As long as the system's working, and well, there's three easy requirements, I should say. As long as the system's working, as long as it's over 10 years old, and as long as it's under the 8 EER, which we have access to a website to be able to pull up the information on the equipment to figure out if it does or doesn't qualify. But it qualifies for a rebate, so that way you can use that money to help offset the cost of a new air conditioning system.
And how much is a rebate?
Rebates are going to run somewhere between $300 and $400 per system.
Okay. And what's a new system cost?
That's
Say a
depend,
3-ton system.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's going to depend on the different efficiencies and the different applications. Some homeowners have them in the attic. Some homeowners have them in the garage and the closets. So it really depends on what you're looking at efficiency wise, size wise, and application wise inside the home. So it's kind of hard to say without actually seeing the home what we're looking at cost wise, because there's just too many different factors that go into actually designing a system properly.
And how long does it take to change a system out? How long would a homeowner be without their system?
About 1 day. It takes about 6 to 8 hours to do a complete system. So that way, our goal is to, we start it in the morning, and by the end of the night, you have cooling. So that way, at the end of the night, when you go to bed, you can either have heating or cooling, whatever time of season it is. But that way, you're always taken care of while you're trying to sleep.
Well, tell us about the process a little bit then. Somebody calls Tiffany and says, Tiffany, I need you to come out and take a look at my home. Tell us how it goes from there.
So you call in and talk to one of the wonderful girls at the office to get something scheduled. We'll get you on the schedule to have one of our technicians come out. They're going to come out, either do a maintenance or evaluation on your system to see what's going on with the system, and then they can go over your options. If you're looking at getting something more efficient, or if you're looking at just making sure that the system's running efficient, or even looking at upgrading the filtration in your home to where you're catching more of that dirt and dust, so it's not wearing down the equipment and reducing the efficiency. We're a very custom tailored company to fit whatever the homeowner's needs are. So if they're just looking at, hey, I've got a 2-year-old system and I want to make sure it's working properly, correctly, and clean, we can definitely take care of that. If you've got a 10, 15-year-old system and want to make sure it's still working clean and correctly, and maybe look at what you can save, we can also help you with that as well.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to take a break now and go hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back to Shades of Green on KDWN. We'll be right back.